They say you only get one chance to make a first impression. And in this fast-paced world, time is of the essence. So how do you make a big impression in a short space of time? What if I could give you a technique that would make you better at presenting, better at influencing people? Would you be interested? My name is Marianne Muir from Entrepreneurial Spark, and today I'm going to share that technique with you. It's called pitching. Pitching is a discipline that we instill into our entrepreneurs from day one. Today I'm going to help you develop a 60-second pitch, but again this technique is adaptable and can be used for longer presentations too. It's going to take a bit of practice from your side. However, I promise if you stick to the golden rules, you'll be far more clear and concise with your message, you'll be more dynamic in how you deliver it, and ultimately your message will have the desired impact. Sound good? Well, let's get started. Let's start at the beginning. What is a pitch? It's simply a communication tool, but it's most useful when you've got a short amount of time to get your point across. It's action-orientated, so it should always have a goal, a purpose. It's a concept that originates from the States. We've all heard the term elevator pitch. You get that one moment to make an impression on someone. It's maybe only a minute. So you've got to be clear, you've got to be concise, you've got to impress that person and be really passionate about your subject. In this scenario, the objective is not to get someone to agree to buy something on the spot. The objective is to secure a meeting, to get more of that person's time at a later date. Our entrepreneurs are constantly pitching, whether it's to investors, to customers, partners, influencers. For them, mastering the art of pitching is absolutely vital.
So when I started my journey with Entrepreneurial Spark, they told us that we're going to have to do 60-second pitching. It helped me understand exactly what my business is, what it is I do, and summarize that really quickly so I could explain it to somebody and still keep their attention. But it also helped really instill confidence into us, getting up there and talking to different people, getting outside our comfort zone. And if I do it all over again, I wish I'd done my 60-second pitch long time before Entrepreneurial Spark.
A great pitch, first of all, it's got to be authentic. If you feel that someone's learned it in a rote fashion, like a parrot, and just goes blah, no good. It's got to be original. I've got to feel that the entrepreneur in front of me is passionate about it, but there's also got to be knowledge.
It's about the hook. Attract me in straight away and then tell me a story.
See, at the end of that story, I want to come and speak to you, I want to find out more.
Now, let's bring this to life for you. I'm going to introduce you to Jihad Hatu from Grunt & Growler, and he's going to deliver his 60-second pitch for you.
A wise man once said to me, life is just too short to be drinking cheap, terrible beer. I'm Jihad Hatu, and as a craft beer fanatic, this is my life motto. And well, it turns out that 25% of the British population thinks just like me. The only problem is that half of us want to see more variety out there, and 40% will be more willing to purchase if we just try the beer first. Well, I had the solution. My business, the Grunt & Growler, is a craft beer off-license that sells draft beer. This means we have access to a rockin' selection of beers, and it means you can try before you buy. Once you find the beer you love the most, we fill it for you, fresh from the draft, right into a reusable jug known as a growler. We have recently just launched a permanent concessions with Peckham's and Rye, and we are now looking for a permanent retail premise to further scale our business. So remember, next time you want a beer, don't get a howler, take home a growler.
Now you've heard a great pitch, let's break it down to the key components. There's 3 things we've got to consider here. Firstly, content, second, structure, and last is delivery. Let's kick off with content. Here's some questions your pitch needs to answer for the listener. What's the pain point? What problem are you trying to solve here? What's the solution to this pain point? How does this save or make your customer money? And what action do you want from your audience? Now, let's go to another great example of a pitch. Do they manage to get those points in? Cara from Articulate.
Bonjour tout le monde! Scotland has seen a fall in the uptake of languages in schools, and the country loses £500 million a year due to its poor language skills. I'm Cara, language teacher and co-founder of Articulate Language Camps. We provide classes, summer camps and school programmes offering foreign language tuition to learners 3 to 17. Our campers learn through digital media and adventure, so they're making films in Spanish and taking archery classes in French. We're the only UK foreign language camp, and the only European camp where learners meet young natives of their studied language. Our customers are parents and schools, and with a growing parent desire to educate children outside school and initiatives promoting languages, there's opportunity for growth. We face competition from conventional language schools, yet we have built a reputation and have 2 successful summer seasons behind us. We've secured Scottish and international education contracts, as well as summer camps in Germany. We want to help Scotland communicate with the world. Merci, gracias, danke.
Thanks, Cara, great pitch. So let's talk about structure now. Here's a structure that I would suggest. Start with a hook, that attention-grabbing first line. Statistics are good for that. Then move on to the pain point. Who's got the problem? Then the solution, and it's got to be really clear to the listener how this relates to the pain point. I'd then bring in the market opportunity. What's the size of the prize? And then talk about your business model. How does this help your customer? Then move on to team. Who's in the team? Really big this up. Highlight key skills and experience. And then you need to end with an ask. What do you want from your customer?
First of all, think about who's the audience that I'm trying to communicate to. Secondly, what's the story I want to tell? Thirdly, bullet point the key messages that you want to communicate in the time you've got available. When you've done that, put the wording around it, but use words that you're comfortable with. Use words that you would use in your everyday language, not words that someone else has put into your head.
Now I've got one last pitch for you to hear. Alexis from Alphabet Babies. Pay attention and listen out for the content and also the structure within our pitch. Over to you, Alexis.
Growing research shows that the early years are the most critical time for learning. In fact, researchers can predict the literacy levels of 16-year-olds based on their vocabulary at just age 2. We have written Alphabet Babies for birth to 2 years and Alphabet Juniors for 3 to 5 years. They are fun and motivating literacy activities and games for nurseries and parents to use with young children. We have support material for teaching, and we also have an online interactive quiz for practicing. Users pay a monthly subscription to access all of the literacy resources they would ever need. We have users across the UK, a distributor in Dubai, and we have just raised 6-figure investment in order to target the 4.6 million families in the UK with children under the age of 5. I'm an English teacher. I'm also a former member of Education Scotland's literacy team. My business partner was a nursery and primary head teacher and latterly was head of early years education for a local authority. Our vision is for Alphabet Babies to be the most developmentally appropriate early language programme, making life easier for nurseries and parents, but ultimately making a real difference to children's futures.
Now you've seen 3 brilliant pitches in action. What stood out about them? You've understood how content and structure is key, but the last important element is the delivery. And I'm guessing that's what made the biggest impression on you. When it comes to communication, it's not just what you say. How you say it is equally, if not more important. My top tips here are, first of all, practice in front of a mirror or film yourself on your smartphone and watch yourself back. Pay attention to your hands. What are they doing? Your face. Are you moving or are you standing still? Then pitch in front of some colleagues or friends who will be honest and constructive with their feedback. Take those learnings and adapt your pitch and think about what points do you want to emphasise within that. Here are some ways in which you can emphasise your key points. Think about your volume, adjusting it up or down. Pausing for effect can work. Or using a hand gesture to reinforce a point. Looking and sounding confident can be hard, and breathing is really the key to this. Before you start your pitch, take some slow, long breaths in and out, and that will drop your heart rate and really get rid of those nerves. If you've got a complicated point to get across, a picture can also help. But a word of warning, do not try to use PowerPoint slides for a short presentation like a pitch. It will just distract you. Good luck and happy pitching.